Hey, what's up guys? So we're here to go ahead and check out the new Cyberpunk 2077 Night City Wire video that they recently released. I'll give you guys my thoughts and reaction to it. But just as a heads up, I might be talking over, I might be pausing and going back and forth. So if you guys do want to go and watch it without my commentary, feel free to go ahead and do so. But let's go ahead and check it out.
Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Night City Wire. This is the show from us at CD Projekt Red, where we talk about all things Cyberpunk 2077. In today's episode, we're going to be deep diving into Lifepaths and showing you a brand new gameplay video, as well as having a chat to Philip from our quest team. Then we're going behind the scenes and taking a look at how Refused to bringing the band Samurai to life. And then we're showing you another new gameplay video and having a chat to Pavel, our senior gameplay designer, about just some of the tools of destruction that will be at your disposal in Night City. So let's get started. Street Kid, Nomad, or Corpo? Which will you pick first?
Okay. So I'm guessing this is maybe like your start location in the game, but they'll probably explain it in a moment here. So we have Nomad, Street Kid, and Corpo.
Well, who do we have here?
Grew up in Haywood. The whole street was my family. Neighbors helped each other out. Thought nothing of it.
I'm pleased to see you have not forgotten your roots.
Born here, live here, die here.
Childhood memories. Hopping buildings, running away from badges. Iron tasted blood from a split lip.
Motherfucker!
Got everybody fighting for a slice of the street.
Get the fuck out of Vista.
If you keep getting jumped, you find some stronger choosers.
Do you want to spend the rest of your days blasting scabs? Or become a legend overnight?
We have arrived. The Major.
Ready to get your cherry bobbed? Yeah, come on!
I wonder if you could do street racing in the game, because it kind of hinted towards that. Alright, let's check out
Racing
Nomad.
with Bobber for the first time through the hills. Oh, and first kiss in the middle of a synth cornfield.
We nomads choose who to make our family. That choice forges strong bonds and a higher duty that stands solid as an old oak.
My family's in pieces. That's why I'm headed for Night City.
Makes you an outcast among outcasts.
Miss this, you know? Camaraderie.
I know. I saw it in your heart the first time we met.
Know what I always liked about nomads? Your taste, no, hunger for freedom. Not easy to come by in Night City.
Corp's got their grubby claws and everything.
Hold on. I'm sorry, I had to pause. What the heck was that? Was that like a puppet lizard thing? What is this? Or is it, can you get a pet in the game?
Corp's got their...
And also like right here. Sorry, I'm just noticing what... Okay, you know, they cut out these moments for, you know, this new trailer, right? He missed every single shot.
Got their grubby claws and everything.
Okay, at least they ended with the headshot. All right. Corpo. I felt like Nomad seemed a little boring.
They were supposed to be ready yesterday.
The world's going to tear us apart when the word gets around.
The world's never going to find out.
If I go down, you're going down with me. No, I'm not fucking joking.
This isn't a request, V.
But no way you're fucked, right? You're the one who fixes other people's shit.
If you work in Arasaka counter intel, you're always fucked.
Today, they got you to zero somebody. Tomorrow, they'll get somebody else to zero you.
What's the rules, Jack? Want to be top? Gotta have some skin in the game.
Yeah, but you're not on top. Saburo Arasaka is. And you're the pendeja who keeps him there. Work for yourself, live for yourself. That's the only way.
Nice. I like that option. Okay, so just going off of that, they'll probably talk a little bit more about that. I'm curious to know, just from seeing that, which one path would you guys want to go ahead and select? For me personally, this is what I'm going to do. I'll play through everything. I just felt like Nomad seemed a lot less interesting than the other two options. It felt like a completely different game. The music, the atmosphere was a lot different, but you know, maybe it's okay. It'll be a little bit different in terms of like what you're going to be seeing, and it just adds a little bit of different gameplay style, which is totally fine too. But I think that in terms of gameplay, because I do plan to play it through everything, I'm going to go corporate first, at least just from what I've seen. Corporate first, then Street Kid, then Nomad, as I plan to do, you know, like an entire playthrough. But anyways, let's go ahead and go back into the rest of the new gameplay here, because that's what I'm mostly interested in. I think they talk about other things, they section it out. But we have, of course, the date over here, and I cannot wait for it.
Philip, it is so good to see you again. It's actually been a while since I've had a chance to interview you about Cyberpunk. So I think for today, we'll start with a question that everybody wants to know. How does the path you pick affect your time in Night City?
It actually affects your time quite a lot throughout the whole game, but let's start at the beginning, because basically our game has 3 different starts depending on your life path. As an example, if you choose the Street Kid life path, you have lived most of your time in Night City. You know the streets, you know the gangs, you know the slang, you kind of know what's going on in the, let's say, lower life aspects of the city, which can of course give you lots of good opportunities also later on in the game. But if you start as a nomad, you actually used to be part of a nomad clan and a nomad family, because nomads that roam the deserts around Night City, that we call the Badlands, actually value their family above anything. But
wait, hold on. Didn't he say this is his family? Then he got his first kiss over there. Play that Sweet Home Alabama.
You actually left that family behind, and now the beginning of the game for you will actually be how to get into Night City and how to make a new life there. Then you can also choose to actually be a corpo and choose the corporate life path. And that basically means that you're not at home in the streets of Night City or in the deserts of the Badlands, but actually inside the boardroom, because you rose the corporate ladder of the Arasaka Corporation, which basically gives you the ability to sometimes, you know, read between the lines, read people when they're trying to do business, which of course can give you many nice opportunities later on.
I wonder when it says like you can read people, if that opens up lots of different dialogue options that you can't actually have. If any of you guys have played Deus Ex, you can like actually, there's a perk that you can get where you can gauge the person's like response, so you can kind of maybe see what the outcome would be before it. I think that that's a cool and interesting thing, as I thought it was cool in Deus Ex.
Just about the start of the game. Can you maybe help people understand how this translates into the gameplay?
Yeah. So the thing is, we make Cyberpunk a real RPG, and part of that is that you can play your character from the start to the end. And of course, you know, we have these life paths affecting the beginning of the game, but we wanted to make it so you have your life path opportunities throughout the whole game until the game is over. And as an example, we do that by giving you additional options in dialogues. So I can give you one specific example. And this is a mission where you have to steal a flathead robot from the Maelstrom gang. Basically, those Maelstromers stole that flathead before from a corporate transport. And the owner of that corporate transport, Meredith Stout, wants you to do something else. And this is an optional objective. And even within that objective, we want to give you some options. So as an example, if you have a corporate life path, you basically know what Meredith Stout is really about. You can read between the lines, and you can get some additional options that maybe actually later enable you to do a completely different thing with the Maelstrom gang. And if you're a nomad, you know exactly some more details about how these Maelstromers would have even been able to steal a robot like that from Meredith Stout, who's part of the very powerful Militech Corporation. As a street kid, we, as an example, don't give you a specific new dialogue option in that dialogue, because as a street kid, you do not have a lot of experience dealing with higher up people like Meredith Stout. But we want to give you additional options that fit your life path very well. So later, when you actually talk to the Maelstrom gang, one member of the gang offers you some illegal substance, but as a street kid, you actually know what this is about. You can talk some shop with him, and that might actually make that character like you a little bit more.
So Philip, I do have a couple of extra questions for you based on the video we just saw. And the first is about nomads. So the nomad life path, this starts in a place called the Badlands. Is this somewhere you get to visit even if you don't pick nomad to start with?
Yes, absolutely. So the thing is, Night City is surrounded by this huge landscape that we call the Badlands, and you can go there whenever you want. So as an example, if you actually do play the Nomad life path at the start and you are in the Badlands, you can even see Night City on the horizon. And we want to give you the option later in the game, if you want, you can just take your car and drive out of the city. You can go there whenever you want. The thing is, you might not want to, because the Badlands can be a pretty dangerous place at first, because time has not been very kind to the Badlands. There have been many wars in the past. There's global warming. So most people that do live out there don't really have another choice about it, or are nomads that love this life and are all about it and are very battle hardened. We, of course, also want to tell their stories, because we want to tell many, many different stories throughout the cyberpunk genre, which means that you will also find missions that lead you out in the Badlands or where you deal with the people living there.
So Philip, can you tell us a little bit more about the character, Padre? He's the guy we see giving his business card to Street Kid V in the video. Who is this man?
Yeah, so Padre is actually one of the fixers in Night City. And fixers are people that work as intermediaries. So if someone who has a lot of money needs a problem solved, they go to a fixer. And a fixer then finds people who can solve that problem. And these people are people like you, V, cyberpunks. Fixers are very territorial. So Padre specifically works from Haywood, which is where you as a street kid grew up in, so you already know him. You might have already seen another one of our fixers who is called Dexter Deshawn, and he works in a different part of the city. So specifically Padre, you might know him as a street kid, but even if you played other Lifepaths, you might sooner or later meet him because he's operating in Haywood, which is a pretty big place with many good jobs. So if you want to make some cash there, you will sooner or later deal with Padre.
Philip, thank you so much for joining us. Now on my first playthrough, pretty sure I'm going to be picking Nomad, but for those watching, we would love to know what you'll be picking. So have a think about it.
That's crazy. Nomad, I don't know. I'm curious to know if you guys feel the same way. All right, new weapons.
Gameplay video and having a chat to Pavel, our senior gameplay designer, about just some of the tools of destruction that will be at your disposal in Night City. But before that, let's talk about music. Because music plays a huge part in
they've kind of sectioned out this like long video. We're not gonna go listen to the music. If you want to listen to it,
but today
I'll provide it down below. But I just don't see how you can look at all these options here in the life path and be like, I want to go Nomad. I mean, everyone likes different things, and that's totally fine. But like I said, I'll skip out on the music section of it because I'm just gonna skim through it. In terms of like the video, I think it's just them going over the music. I ain't gonna be covering it in here, but I'll link it down below if any of you guys want to go ahead and check it out. I'm only really interested in the gameplay, so that's what we're gonna go ahead and check out and react to. Which is, I think, yeah, there's tools of destruction and then just more dev insights. Okay, good.
Hey V, I have a job for you. A client of mine is making an arms deal. He needs protection. It could get hot, very hot. The gun dealers are Maelstrom. Alas, nothing ever transpires as planned with them. You better gear up for this.
Ooh, that's really cool. They showed that off earlier, and I really like this like system that they have. I'm sure a lot of you guys have probably played the most recent Call of Duty game. Or if you even look at older games like Blacklight Retribution, where you can customize each individual part. I hope you can do this with the new Cyberpunk game. That'll be really awesome. Pierces concrete like cardboard, so it gives you a little description. But I'm hoping we get to customize each individual part. Shotgun variant. Oh wait, hold on. There's all the weapon types over here. Hold on, let me pause it and kind of go over all of the different weapon types. So we have cyberware, melee weapons, smart weapons, power weapons, tech weapons, throwables, weapon mods, and attachments. That's really cool. I'm so glad that they support melee weapons. I'm a huge fan of Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Anything with like any cyborg implants, I always feel like melee is always a section that I'm really interested in. And I know we have those arm blades, but I hope it's not just like a stealth like assassin kill. I hope we can have like a different way to play it with basically running in with the melee weapons and just being a viable build. Now let's go check out what else they have. the detail on the weapons looks great as well. So I have explosive rounds here. Smart weapons. Burst fire. Wait, hold on. Did you say micro-guided missiles? It's really fast, so I gotta pause here. Burst fire, micro-guided missiles in this? That looks really tiny. Smart weapons require a smart link to unlock the full potential of their targets. I'm wondering if this is some skill point that you put into, but let's check it out. So that shoots them all at once, and then they go ahead and hone in. Okay. So I've seen some of these weapons before, like in other like futuristic games, like was it Syndicate? Syndicate. This is, hold on, this is something I actually really want to check out. Melee weapons, the katana, a thermal katana. This is what I'm most excited about. Sorry, I have to pause it so I can read what the heck it does, and also check out the other melee weapons. So we have an alpha baton, a spiked bat, a katana, a sledgehammer, a tanto. I feel like the baton and spike bat might behave similar. I hope it's not just another reskin, but I feel like the katana should probably behave a lot different than, let's say, a tanto or a sledgehammer. But I'm hoping we get claws. I'm hoping to still see those arm claws, or like that arm blade that comes out. I saw a block with it, so it looks like it's got some viability, perhaps. Wait, hold on. We have monowire. We got a projectile launch system. Gorilla arms? Can we go like hand-to-hand combat? That would be pretty cool too. And the mantis blade, that's what it was called. And then I can't see what it says. It says reinforced maybe knuckles, or I don't know. I'm just guessing here. But there is like a lot of stuff here. Wait, hold on. Modular with swappable blade edges, arm blades designed with lethality and concealment in mind, as effective as they are flashy. That looks so cool. But I hope we can make a build, like I said, just based around those. Gorilla arms, okay. Kinetic energy recovery system, classic and reliable replacements for natural limbs, improving both strength and endurance. I hope we can get, like, again, some mobility. Maybe we can mod our legs to jump to our next target too. Dang, that looks really cool.
Are you willing?
Yeah, I'm in.
Alright. I wish they digged a little bit more deep into like the individual customization, because it did that thing where they split all the weapon up.
Thank you so much for joining me. Now, there was an awful lot in that video, right? Because it's more than just guns.
Absolutely. We have melee weapons, we have ranged weapons, we have cyberware, we have offensive cyberware, defensive cyberware, armor. We could talk for hours and hours about this stuff.
I think just for today's episode, we should keep it simple and let's just talk about guns. Can you tell us the different types of guns that will be in the game?
So we have three distinct types of guns in our game. We have power weapons, we have tech weapons, and we have smart weapons. Now, power weapons are the most similar to contemporary weapons. One thing they can do, which normal weapons cannot, is ricochet bullets off of surfaces. So you can hit somebody hiding behind cover or hiding behind a wall. Okay. Now, tech weapons, on the other hand, use electromagnetic power to propel a fully metal projectile to extreme velocities. What that allows them to do is to punch through cover or punch through walls to hit somebody who's not even aware that you're there. Smart weapons use guided missile technology to actually track targets in real time. So you can hit somebody who's dodging, running away from you, or you can hit somebody who's hiding behind cover.
So Pavel, Cyberpunk doesn't just contain FPS elements, right? It's also a fully fledged RPG. So can you tell us how you guys approached introducing those RPG elements into gunplay?
So I can tell you one thing, Holly, it wasn't easy to merge those two elements together. Now, we've spent a considerable amount of time merging the RPG and FPP side of our game. What the player will experience is that V changes from a small-time mercenary to a legend in the world of Night City. V becomes more and more proficient in using weapons as the game progresses. So they will see that reload times become shorter, the accuracy of your weapons grows, you will have faster aiming time, you will move faster with your weapons. Everything becomes more in your control, and that gives you more opportunities to defeat the biggest encounters that we've designed for you.
So I have prepared a few extra extra questions for you, Pavel, if you're feeling up to it.
Of course.
Okay, well the first is going to be, how do you find more weapons in Night City? Like, where will players be looking for them?
So I expect the players to look everywhere for new and exciting weapons. You can, of course, buy weapons at vendor shops, and they will house an entire catalog of weaponry that you can get. However, the best weapons that you can find will be taken from enemies or loot caches that we have everywhere in Night City. The weapons rarities range from common through uncommon up to rare and then legendary. And as they go in rarity, they actually climb in power. However, legendary weapons are very specific in such a way that they possess unique abilities that you will find on no other weapons in the game. The players will actually need to make some tough choices to find some legendary weapons, because maybe they need to choose whether to kill a person who holds the legendary weapons that they want, or to spare them because they like them as a character.
So next question, let's talk
Dude,
about
okay, this is like so awesome. I did not expect them to have like loot drop tables, I guess is going to be in the game, and then certain, you know, items will be only locked to killing characters that you might want to keep. This is so good to hear. Like, the amount of depth and the amount of replayability to maybe try out this weapon. I'm probably just going to try out the weapon if I like the character, and like, let's say I don't want to kill this person to get their weapon. I'm going to obviously save, kill him, try out the weapon, and then if I don't like it, then we can go ahead and move on. But I like that idea, though. That's really cool. Because this game is not going to have microtransaction, at least that's what they've said, and I believe them. But I'm okay with this. I know some people don't like the idea of having like RNG loot, but I'm not sure how they're going to do it. But they did say common, legendary with unique abilities. We're going to have like build guides just like we have with like Diablo videos. That's going to be awesome. I like that. I'm curious to know how you guys feel about that as well. Do you guys like this, or do you think, no, if for single player games you shouldn't have like these RNG loot? Like, the loot should be like, you get this item from this area and then that's it. Because it also incorporates the ideas of, oh, you want this item, you got to farm for it for hours and hours. But obviously with PC, you can just mod it, right?
Modifications. What mods can people give to their weapons in Night City?
Oh, perfect. This is what I want to know.
We have two types of modifications in the game. One of them would be modifications that we call attachments. So these would be scopes and silencers, and you can see them actually being attached to your weapon as you're playing the game. They give you statistics advantage, and they give you more opportunities in gameplay. The other part of mods would be software mods. Now, these are basically small chips that you install in your weapon, and they actually change the statistics of the gun. They can give you damage, they can give you accuracy, or they can give you more fire rate. Some of those mods actually change the gunplay on a more fundamental level, so they can give you non-lethal rounds, biochemical rounds, to tear through that armor even faster.
So I suppose for my final question, why don't you tell us about your favorite weapon then? Which is your favorite weapon so far in Night City?
Oh, there are so many weapons that it's hard to choose just one. But I can mention some manufacturers with their weapons.
Manufacturers? Okay, if any of you guys have played Borderlands, certain like manufacturers would have a certain playstyle. Are they implementing that into this game too? That's really cool.
The first manufacturer would be Tsunami Defense Systems, who produces the sniper rifle Nekomata. That's a tech sniper rifle. That means that it can pierce through walls. So you can actually hit somebody who's hiding behind cover or who doesn't even know you're there. Of course, I also like a close quarters approach, and what that needs is a shotgun. One of the shotguns that we have in the game is Budget Arms Carnage. Now, that thing is cast from pure steel, and it weighs a ton. However, you can cut a person clean in half with it. Another shotgun that I absolutely love, it's for a more refined approach, I would say, is a smart shotgun, Kangtao Zhuo. That thing has 8 barrels. And that means it can track 8 targets independently. Now, killing an entire room was never simpler.
Pavel, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, they're not going to shoot their shotgun.
I'm actually pretty interested to see what kind of weapons people discover when they play Cyberpunk for themselves. Before we end episode 2, this is a reminder.
Well, they talked about the shotgun having 8 barrels. They can target 8 things, and then they're like, sorry, just thanks for coming in.
27.
But I'm still hyped about the game. I was just going to advertise the book. Okay. Kind of want to go ahead and just briefly talk a little bit about like what we saw. So like I'm still really hyped about the game. Nothing has really made me go, oh, I don't like it. But what I did not expect them to have that like loot table drop with common, you know, rare items with unique, like with legendary abilities, and some are on like characters that you can actually not kill. That was amazing. I'm really looking forward to playing this game, obviously, and I wish they would jumped up a little bit more into melee, but they said, you know, they just wanted to cover the guns. Really wish they showed a little bit more about those chips, because if it's just like stat numbers, you know, just like, you know, recoil or, you know, accuracy or even like the rate of fire, those are like relatively small things, but maybe you can mix and match to make really cool things, and that's what I'm really interested in as a content creator, to make some of these like very specific guns and stuff. It's going to be absolutely awesome, and I cannot wait to see what modders, when they get their hands on this game, to see what they can create with all of these intricate details. But like I mentioned before, I'm curious to know what you guys let me go ahead and go back to the screen where you can see this. What one are you guys mostly interested in seeing gameplay of? At least for me personally, I think Nomad's the one that looks the most boring. I mean, it's an open like desert. It reminds me if any of you guys played like Rage, where you just like drive around. Which, I mean, maybe there's some enemies out in, you know, the boonies, but I feel like Corporate and Street Kid look a lot more entertaining to play. They have that cyberpunk feel, not like this empty desert. But nonetheless, yeah, which one would you guys start off with? Or which ones would you guys like to see gameplay of? As, you know, I want to play what you guys want, although I'm probably not going to go Nomad, I'm going to be honest. Like, if you guys say, if there's an overwhelming amount of people that want to see Street Kid first, I'll do that one. But I definitely do not want to do Nomad first. But anyways, you guys let me know your thoughts down below. I'm just absolutely blown away, again, by them announcing, like, legendaries. Didn't expect it at all. And I know with CD Projekt Red, we don't have to worry about loot boxes. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm just so hyped up about the game. And if you are too, drop a like on this video, as soon as the game drops, we'll do full playthrough of all of the different, you know, backstories and paths, and we'll check out everything, as I will probably 100% this game. And then when the mods come out, I can't wait to see what people think of with the mods for this game. But anyways, take care, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good one. I'm out. Peace.
I saw it.